Morning, everybody. Hey, Fred. Thought I'd do a quick video. There, Fred, get up in your chair. Get ready for the show. Oh, yeah. That's better, huh, Fred? Hey, everybody. Oh, good morning. Hot coffee. Hot. Well, some y'all know. I don't even have to tell y'all. You know, the winter takes off. And it's just, wow. I know I say that a lot. I know I say wow a lot. But there's good reason for it. Man, my lifetime, the trauma-based propaganda and engineering that's been done. Wow. You step back and you look at the last 55 years. Man, it ain't been cool. And and this whole time, I don't think there's that one thing has gotten better. Other than people always say the same thing. Well, what about cell phones and computers? Well, the human condition has not gotten better. Technology, of course, it always does. But the human condition, I contend, has gotten worse for everybody across the board. Women, men, and that's it. That's the board. That's it. Women and men. It's gotten worse for all of us. No colors, no races, no ethnicities, men and women. It's gotten harder. And they've purposely done that, I believe. But I saw this yesterday. Oh, man. This is just, wow. This is crazy. I don't understand how they do that. Let me share this with you. And I don't even, what the heck? Wow, that changed. that changed, man. Let's see. Yeah, this was good. She's gonna. She does a good job of explaining it. So.
Hi guys, welcome to Unapologetic. I woke up this morning and I had to this video. I went on Twitter and caught this little music video and I started watching it and I immediately paused it and I was like, oh, no. We have to react to this right now. This is a video that is meant to be sort of encouraging Black people to go to the polls and vote, and you will not believe how they feel we can be influenced. Let's get into it. Oh, all right, guys. I saw this and I really legit thought that this was parody, that it was a joke, it wasn't real. But let's get into this music video and I'll show you guys what this is all about. Apparently, this is from a group called BLK. I believe it's a Black dating app, but we'll get into that. And they're presenting this new music video to encourage Black people to vote. And the tagline on this is no voting, no vucking. Not the F word. No voting, no vucking.
Yeah, you heard it. Watch this. This is crazy.
Let's get into it.
Straight checks, I think we got one. It's voting season, bruh. No voting, no loving. No voting, no touching. No voting, no nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no voting, no voting, no loving, no voting, no touching, no voting, no nothing, no voting, no fucking, no voting, no voting.
I don't even know where to start. It's voting season, bruh. Is this truly like how you view Black people? How you think we're going to be influenced to go to the polls and vote? And we're going to get into a discussion about where this maybe started. Are there Black people to blame for this being our representation and for people in politics thinking this is the way to get us to vote? I am disgusted. I'm flabbergasted. I really saw this and I was speechless, and I'm sure it gets much worse. It's sort of like that old no glove no love phrase that everybody heard. No voting, no vucking. As if Black people are only motivated by sex, and the way to get your partner to go to the polls to vote is to stop having sex with them, because that's what Black people do. Oh Lord, oh my gosh, let's keep going.
Yeah, okay, app looking for some action. Why the homie Scott was head. Faces a 9, abs a 10, D is a to be determined. He got mad jokes, he don't see bro. The only red flag, he said he don't vote. This midterms for all the single Q. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty. No voting.
Oh my.
Want to hit this booty, got to do your civic duty.
I have no words, Taylor. I really have no words.
Watching this, I'm like, this is...
So, so for her, I mean, well, I feel for her, because that is bad. Is that really? Does anybody think that would influence anybody? It's just, wow. That's bad. That's real bad. It's bad enough, hip hop and all that, the sexualization of their whole genre. Sex and murder. Sex, drugs, and murder. Hey, wait. The 80s, we had sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And they died. They died from an OD. Well, no murder going down. Not anybody hitting anybody. But I encourage you to go watch the rest of that. That's it's hard to watch, but her reaction and her analysis of it's pretty good. And I feel bad for the Black community. Wow. Y'all been sold so many stereotypes and so many misnomers that, wow. I'm just glad people like her and Candace Owens are out there saying something. And it is the women, Black women. I don't see many conservative Black leaders taking the front, Here's another deal I ran across. I suggest people go take a look at. This is from one of our old friends we know well. Now this may get my video taken down. I'm only showing this for educational reasons.
All the way back in August 2019, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, published a research paper co-authored by Stanley Fischer, the former vice chairman of the Federal Reserve. Now, believe it or not, but this research paper predicted much of the unprecedented fiscal and monetary policy we saw during the pandemic just a few months before it happened. Today, I'm going to unpack this peculiar paper, explain what it says in simple terms, and tell you what predictions it makes about what comes next for the global economy. The research paper I'll be summarizing today is titled, quote, "Dealing with the Next Downturn, From Unconventional Monetary Policy to Unprecedented Policy Coordination." It was published by BlackRock's Investment Institute, and I'll leave a link to the full research paper in the description. Now, the paper begins with a short summary, but I'll preface it with a couple of key terms. Monetary policy is what central banks do and includes stuff like raising and lowering interest rates. Fiscal policy is what governments do and includes stuff like raising and lowering taxes and, yes, sending out stimmy checks. What the authors argue in this research paper is that the next economic downturn will require, quote, unprecedented monetary and fiscal policy that will need to be closely coordinated. I'll reiterate that this research paper was published prior to the pandemic, which...
Yeah. Which is suspicious, right? So what do you do? What do you do when a year before it even happens, they're telling you it's going to happen? What do you do? What do you do? We only have an illusion that we have any say in anything. Have y'all noticed that? Sorry, my eyes are always, especially this weather change. Ooh, my eyes are leaking. Has anybody noticed that this, and it's been my experience my whole adult life as ever president, either rises or falls on the stock market and the economy. We know the economy is not doing good. Have you heard a word about the stock market on the news? Unless you go on to the business purpose channel that they're talking about it, nobody's talking about it. And nobody. We're fixing to pull a bunch out of our 401k. We took a bunch out last year, but you can only take so much in different forms. We took this out as a personal loan just to get that money out of that thing into our account. So when it started going down, we didn't lose that much. Yeah, we lost plenty, but we took out some. We're going to take out some more. What do you do? Man, that shit's crazy. Like my wife, she was a boss that he doesn't understand. He can't. There's no way he can understand what's going on in his own building, because the like every hospital, they never, like they say, they're a 300 bed hospital. They do not have 300. They may have physically 300 beds, but they do not have 300 beds available to 300 patients. It's not true. They can only have so many patients as they have staff for. Well, her boss keeps asking her, when are you going to open up this other floor? When are you going to open up those other 20 beds? When she hires 68 nurses, they've got 68 positions open. And he keeps coming to her going, when are you going to open these floors? Well, I told her yesterday, I said, man, if he says one more thing to you about that, if he says, hey, when are you going to do this? You need to tell him, talk to human resources. I don't have any nurses to take care of patients. Talk to human resources. They're the ones that hire. They got to get people in here for us. I can't do it. But he's constantly, always just, and when are we going to open more beds, more beds, more beds? That corporate bottom line, you know? When are we going to open more beds? I didn't put the link down in the chat. So there's a link down in the chat. But yeah, I mean, it drives her crazy. There's nothing she can do about it. If all 68 nurses were hired today, it would be at least a week before you had all 68 of them actually hands-on taking care of patients. And then what happens when you get overstaffed? He tells her, cut your budget. What are you doing? Look at this. You know, you got so many people. Oh, look at this overtime. Look at all these hours. You got to cut. What do? You hire people. They're working. It gets slow. You send them home. They're like, I need a full-time job. This ain't gonna work. I gotta go find a full-time. And that's what they have to do. Happens in hospitals all the time. I don't think I've ever worked at a hospital that was fully staffed. Because if a hospital, by their numbers, and you can check this if you want, I guarantee this is a deal with every hospital. If a hospital is staffed full to its numbers, then people are going home early. People aren't getting full-time work. They're not getting 40 hours. They're not getting the what they need. It's not happening. They're sending your butts home. Wake and bake with you guys. The fastest you want to see people get out of a hospital, especially in the OR, when they walk in and see there's a light day. People are lining. There's a sheet. People are already lining up. Get out of here. We want to get out of here. Because OR really not like the floors. We've got a schedule every day, pretty much. Their stuff fluctuates a bunch. They'll have, say, if there's 20 patients today, they may discharge 5 or 6 overnight and then get 7 back the next day. So, I mean, they're just up and down and up and down. Well, we got a schedule. And when we're done, we bug out. And on light days, everybody hauls ass. And it's so, this is what I always thought was so crazy. Every hospital has a need for nurses. And just about every department I've ever been in, except surgery. We were always staffed. We can always take care of business. Our stuff in ORs always comes down to anesthesia. Do you have anesthesia to do it? Because you usually got enough staff. But OR nurses. This is rare. There's an exception out there. Not many. Don't go nurse on other floors. When we're slow in the OR, people don't go. They don't go to other floors. And then my wife talked about that. And a few places I worked at kind of did an insistence that, oh no, when you have a light day and you got nurses going home, you send them to us. We'll find a place for them, so they can get their 40 hours. But don't send them home. We need nurses. Oh, our nurses are like, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. And they always came back to the same position of, I don't see them coming here. I'll never see them come here if we need help. When we need help, I'll never see them come here. And it's a pretty weak argument, but it's true. They don't come in from the outside to help us. And, they just start trained up. And so, though, our nurses kind of insulated. They got a good point. Hey, I don't do that. I can't. What's funny is they can go work in ICU. They can go work in med-surg because they understand. They understand the monitoring. They understand everything. They understand patient care. It's just they do it in the OR now. They don't do it out there. And it's pretty funny to see OR nurses just aghast if you ask them to go work at another department. They're like, why? I ain't never seen one of them nurses come help us. I tell my wife, she would hire any and every nurse she could that would get past all their pre-screenings, right? And that's another thing. She was telling me they in the last year they recruited 70. I'm just going to use a round number. It's in the 70s. 70 new nurses, but they lost 50. I was like, where's your retention program? Don't you have no retention program? Well, that's kind of skewed because of the 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 CV problem. All those nurses, and they're paying for it now. I had a video I did about it. All those nurses quitting their jobs and going to travel jobs for the big money. Now there ain't no travel jobs. Those are dried up. There's nothing. And a lot of people are going back to their old employers, please. And their old employers are going, we ain't got no spots, man. You know, we'd love to hire you back, but you know. And the thing is, they're not getting hired at those travel wages they were expecting or that they've been getting. You're back in the real world now, and these people are not liking it. But Kathy, since she's been there 2 years now, she's been golly. She went through and did a whole review. Everybody got wages. There were only, and those are funny stories. People are so greedy. They did a salary adjustment in the whole nursing department. And there were a handful of people that had been there long enough. And they had been on the annual raise schedule. They'd never been passed over. They'd always gotten their raises. So they only got less than $1 an hour raise. And then, of course, other people who had been getting screwed. There were some people she said there were some people got $6, $7, $8 an hour raises. And those are the people that never went to their boss and went, hey, man, I've been here in a year. I've been here 2 years. Am I going to get a raise? And they wouldn't do that. So those people, you know, huge benefit to this. But the people who, like us, you know, that walk to the boss every year going, where's my money? You know, they only got a little bit, just a little bit of an adjustment. And, of course, people talked, and then people went, what are you doing? So-and-so got so raised. Oh, my God, what about me? You're like, you're already at the top, man. Nothing we can do. You're at the top. But I watched an interesting Dell Pharmaceutical rep. He says 5 insurance companies basically control all of healthcare. And that whenever an insurance company wants to save some money, all they do is just up the criteria and the red tape for doctors. And so say a doctor's been prescribing this one test to everybody. The insurance company does an audit and they go, you know, we'd save some money if we weren't doing so many of these. Are these anybody? Is it okay? Don't necessarily need this test, right? And yeah, let's ramp it up. And they just double the paperwork, triple the paperwork for the doctor. They make it so just annoying for him to order this test. And they kick it back and forth, you know, volleyball it back and forth. And finally the doctors just get enough of it and just won't order that test. So the insurance industry saves millions from one little glitch, just one little tweak to just ramp it up for a doctor where he is used to just checking off a box, checking off a box, checking off a box, do this, done. Now they get kicked back to him. It's like the stack of paperwork. Fill in all the blanks, do the full history, and the doctors just go, forget. I'm not doing this. The insurance company says, hey, you got to. You don't get paid? You got to fill it out. So they just move on. Ooh. That was hot. But I miss it, but I don't. The stories my wife tells me about the chirping and the backbiting and the inner fightings there with those people. She's had one gal in the OR. That's just a constant disruption, just constant. And she's been written up. And she got suspended, and she's one of those. She won't leave. She just a thorn in everybody's side, and she ain't going nowhere. She's been there a while, and she ain't going anywhere. And just a constant disruption. That puts people in a position where you need people. You need them that bad. Is this constant disruption worth it? Do they bring enough to the table that we got to live with it? As for my wife, she expects this conflict resolution done at the lower levels. When it gets jacked up to where it comes to her, and she's got to bring all these people in and try and sort this out, she's not happy. This is ridiculous. These are adults, and they can't pull it off. They just can't do it. But the next year, said 2 years ago when all this started, it's crazy. This is a big deal. They're doing this for nefarious reasons. This isn't for your safety. Remember what they say. I said a long time ago. I don't remember who said it. You trade a little bit of freedom for safety, and you'll get neither. And wow, this is getting bad, man. We got people in charge that are clearly not in it for our best interest. But nothing happens. Nothing changes. Just another day, another crazy news story, another irrelevant fact. Stuff just keeps getting worse. What do you do? Well, housing market's fixing to crumble. We're already thinking a year down the road. She's only got another year on her contract. And, we're looking at, wow, we're going to sell this house. What's this market going to do? And then go get something. And we're thinking of, it's already almost too late to get into borrowing money. The interest rates are already going up. I went and checked. Unsecured, I can get 3.5% interest. Unsecured is 9.5% interest. I think I talked about that last time. I don't know how anybody without collateral and stuff gets loans, gets any money, gets able to, buy a house, improve things. I don't know how they do it, but I think I'm fixing to go get some of that money at 3.5%. Hang on to it and use it next year when it's going to be 10% unsecured. And that's what's bad. I can't get any interest on my savings. 0.25%. If you got $1 million in the bank, you might make some interest money, but other than that, it's useless. Their fees even eat that up. So, yeah, buckle down, folks. Batten down the hatches. Cut the fat. That's what we're doing. We're going to sell the RV. We're going to get rid of that RV. But then once again, we thought, that may be where we're living. But start getting stuff together, guys. The last 2 years have been rough. It's fixing to get rougher the next 2 years. It's not gonna get any better. I think. Have anybody? Surely, people watching my stuff have seen the clip of old President Ford. I think it was back in the early '80s, might have been late '70s, where he's at a high school and he's talking to kids, and a girl asked, "Do you ever think there's gonna be a female president?" And he says, "Oh, well, yeah." He says, "But I tell you how it's gonna happen. She's gonna be a vice president, and the president's gonna die in office, and that's how she's gonna become first president." And it's like, this kind of looks like that situation, man. This kind of looks like that could happen here. That could totally happen here. And wouldn't that be scary? Wow. That would almost be like in high school, you come out, football practice in the morning, and the band teacher is now coach. And you're like, what? You're in charge now? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, that'd be scary. Well, that's 30 minutes. What time is it? 5:27. Oh, hey guys, I had said it before, and I'll show it again. This stuff is good stuff, man. All natural. You take like 10 to 20 drops and a little bit of water twice a day, and it's good for sleep and nerve pain. And with my pain, wow, this stuff has been helping. I've been sleeping hard at night. It works good. Works real good. I got some other stuff coming. It's like next week I got another coming, and at the end of the month I got some more coming. So if Dr. Reckeweg, I hope y'all can read that. Go search that on the internet. They got a website, and it lines out all the different products and stuff. There's good stuff, man. I'm seeing a difference. And like I said, Kathy's been doing that other product, that Glow, and she's lost weight and she's feeling better. She got more energy. We're pretty sure with her, when she got the jab back at the first of 2020, when her boss made them get it. Since then, she's had fatigue. That's her side effect, has been just fatigue. She just got no energy since, and she can sleep 10 hours and wake up and go back and have a nap in a couple hours. She's worn out easily. But how about there's some good memes going around about the unvaxxed and how many of us regret not taking it. That'd be a zero. Nada. Nobody regrets not taking it. Plenty regret taking it. Nobody regrets not. Find me one person that's going, man, sure wish I'd have followed their instructions. Get me juiced up. But that's crazy. That's crazy. And it's so funny how they talk up our science and technology on one hand and say there's just about nothing we can't do now. Man, we're pretty sharp. And then something like that happens and they're like, lock it down, mask up, shut her down. I go, what are you doing? They're like, we're not sure. We're pretty sure this is the best thing to do. We've never been in this position before. Oh, this seems like the best thing to do. And we're all going, no. You can't be serious. This is not the best thing to do. And yeah, one of the first things I heard was how in the 1918 pandemic that they tried lockdowns, they tried masks, didn't work, and they knew it. And then we do it again. They're like, we don't know. Morning now.
What were they bark? I yelled at them earlier when they were barking. I got up to pee.
They heard something outside. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what I was just telling Mom. I said I went and I looked out the front door and out the back. I couldn't see
Yeah.
anything. I said there's probably
I'm
that
on a
damn.
live stream.
I said it's probably that squirrel.
Right. Yeah, their nemesis, the squirrel. Those silly dogs. I'll see that squirrel outside, and I'll tell them, guys, we got a squirrel. And boy, they'll pile up by the door, and I'm like, it's over here, okay? And they'll take off almost every time and go the opposite direction. I'm like, guys, I'm trying to help you here. That way, that way. They go the wrong direction. My mutts. But that's 37 minutes in. That's a good little video. Quick little video. Take care, everybody. Love y'all. Good discernment and good vibrations.